Hi everybody, today is the 14th of August. You can do these notes and homework anytime before Wednesday. Wednesday is when they're due. Equations of parallel lines. We talked about this today. Recall from geometry, when two lines do not intersect, they're said to be parallel, like train tracks. Two non-vertical lines are parallel. The reason why it says non-vertical is because vertical lines don't have slopes. They're undefined. Even if their slopes are equal. And they have different y-intercepts. Because if they had the same y-intercept and the same slope, it would be the same line. Vertical lines are parallel if they have different x-intercepts. If you think of what vertical lines look like, one would intersect x here and one would intersect x here, and they have different x-intercepts. That's when the vertical lines would be parallel. For normal parallel lines, you have one parallel line and then you have another parallel line, and their y-intercepts have to be different, or they're not parallel, it's the same line. Find equations of parallel lines. Determine whether lines are parallel by writing them in slope-intercept form. To find whether their slopes are equal. If the slopes are equal, then you say parallel, and the y-intercepts are unequal. We're putting it in slope-intercept form, then we can see the slope and the y-intercept easily. So this is 2y equals negative 6 plus 9. I subtracted negative 6x plus 9. I subtracted 6x. And then divide by 2. Y equals negative 3x plus 9 halves. So the slope is negative 3. The other one is negative y equals 3x plus 3. I added 3x, multiplied by negative 1, negative 3x minus 3. So the slopes are equal. So and the y-intercepts are unequal. So yes, they're parallel. Find the equation of line parallel to 4x plus y equals negative 8 and through point 2, negative 3. First, you're going to find the slope of the original line. So we're going to subtract 4x. The slope is negative 4. And we want parallel. So the slope is still giving me negative 4. So it says use point slope form first, and then we're going to write it in slope intercept form. So point slope form is y2 minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The point, this is x1, y1. So y minus a negative 3 equals the slope negative 4 times x minus 2. Y plus 3 equals negative 4 times x minus 2. So that's slope intercept form, point slope form. And then slope intercept form, you just distribute the negative 4, negative 4x plus 8, and subtract 3. And now we have slope-intercept form. And we could easily put it in general form by adding 4x to both sides, and we'd have 4x plus y equals 5. So you have to be able to move back and forth between the different forms. Know what the different forms are, and move back and forth between them. So this is page 12 from yesterday that we're continuing on, and it's 1.3 day 3. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. 1.3 day 3. And then here is page 13, which I uploaded to Canvas. So you have page 13. Recall from geometry that when two lines intersect at a right angle, they are said to be perpendicular. Two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if the product of their slopes is -1. Any vertical line is perpendicular to any horizontal line. Perpendicular lines and horizontal lines are parallel. Vertical lines and horizontal lines are perpendicular, like the x and y axis. They're always perpendicular. Their product of their slopes is -1, or their opposite reciprocals. For example, if you have 5 halves, what's the reciprocal of 5 halves? 2/5, and then you add a negative, so they're opposite reciprocal. And when you multiply them, you get -1. That's just an example of opposite reciprocals. So here, we're going to move the x to the other side by subtracting x. Divide by 3. And the slope is -1/3. Right here. And then the other line, add 3x, and the slope is 3, or 3/1. So if you take -1/3 times 3/1, what do you get? -1. So they're opposite reciprocals. Product of slopes equals -1. Therefore, 3 dots means therefore they're perpendicular. They're going to be perpendicular because their slopes are opposite reciprocals, or the product of their slopes is -1. So here, we want a line perpendicular to this line and through this point. Find the slope of this line. So we put it in slope-intercept form, add 2x to both sides. We want perpendicular. This is x1, y1. Y equals 2/5 x plus 3/5. So there's the slope. The slope equals 2/5. Find the slope of the perpendicular line. So go ahead and find the opposite reciprocal of 2/5. Then you use the point slope formula with the point right here and the slope right here. Oops, I was using the original slope. Y plus 3 equals -5/2 x minus 2, point slope form. And then they want it in slope-intercept form, so we're going to distribute the -5/2. The 2's cancel. Negative times negative is positive. Subtract 3. slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. And then you can multiply by 2 because there's a 2 in the denominator. And then add 5x to both sides. And what form is that called? General form or standard form. So we have it in all 3 different forms. So your assignment tonight, do Wednesday. And there's a quiz on Wednesday, so I'd suggest that you do it. Page 30, 6 to 9, 43 to 46, 63 to 69 odd, 72, 103 to 108. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.